This is Pat Soundbites Unplugged. Unplugged. The podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
Hey, what do you say? I am your host with a little sore throat and stuffed up nose and sinuses for Tuesday, December 17, 2019. Your host, Pat Calamari here. Welcome to Pat Soundbites Unplugged episode. What are we up to? Number 21. As I reported yesterday, had a great, very quick chat with one of the founding members of Triumph, that Canadian power rock trio formed in 1975, bassist, keyboardist, songwriter, the wonderful Mike Levine. And Triumph just released the 30th anniversary of their album Classics, 13-track, just re-released on a double LP pressed on 180-gram silver vinyl. So, Mike, all day busy. We have 10 minutes to go through 20 probably radio stations. Everybody gets a 10-minute slot. So you're pretty much done maybe in 8 minutes or so. But still, you get the opportunity. I mean, Triumph, who doesn't love Triumph? And they're coming out with a documentary, I want to say next year. Banger Films is handling it. I want to say more than did ZZ Top just recently. The documentary is called Triumph Laid on the Line, featuring Mike, Rick Emmett, and drummer Gil Moore. If you remember Mike, long hair at the time, back in the 80s, tall guy, go from bass, go from keyboard, always wearing like an NHL jersey, maybe representing that city or some sort of sports memorabilia. But every time I saw Triumph, it was always with an NHL jersey. I did ask him about that, which was pretty funny. But they've been pretty non-existent. I mean, I met Rick and Dave Dunlop a couple times, and then Rick just said I had enough time to pack it in a little bit. But out of the blue, they got a lot of awards, which I cover in the interview. I don't want to take away the interview with this introduction to it, but it's a great chat. Mike's a super guy. So Mike Levine, Triumph, making news. The documentary coming out hopefully sometime in 2020. They were recognized for a bunch of awards as of recent month or two, going even back to May. And check out the 30th anniversary Triumph's 13-track Classics. You know, it's on Round Hill Triumph catalog, all the expected songs, Laid on the Line, Magic Power, World of Fantasy, Fight the Good Fight, and Hold On. Also features our two special live recordings that closed the set, Never Surrender live at the U.S. Festival, and Blinding Light Show, Moonchild, that was live at Sweden Rock. And the album is available on all your social downloading, streaming, but I encourage you certainly to buy it. Whatever you do, please buy it and support these great guys. I did not ask, before you yell at me, if there's ever a chance for a reunion. Yeah, there's always a chance, and they might pop up here and there and do a show or two, but I think they're all busy on their own little projects, which is good, but it's good to see them make the news and get back in the spotlight. Who doesn't love Triumph? All right, if you like what I do, as always, share, send me your thoughts, your comments, more great interviews coming up, more great stuff coming up. Had a lot of fun. Mike Levine, Pat Soundbites Unplugged, or don't forget to catch me on Sundays from 5 to 8 at WBXO. Classic Rock Redefined. And I'm on from 5 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Time to get some tomato soup and some hot tea and honey. And happy birthday to Paul Rogers. Speaking of hot tea and honey, one of the great singers, the rock and roll industry, a super cool guy. 70 today. Happy birthday, Paul Rogers. Okay, enough of me. Live, love, laugh a lot. Life is way too short. Be safe out there. Talk to you soon. Here's Mike Levine. Enjoy. WBXO Classic Rock Redefined on 103.7 FM in conjunction with Pat Soundbites Unplugged. Such an honor to have a founding member of the great power rock trio Triumph, Mr. Mike Levine. Mike, a busy day today.
Busy day, but that's the best intro I've heard in a long time, Pat. That was fabulous.
Oh, that's great. Well, we got Mike on the phone because last Friday, Triumph, the 30th anniversary of the Classics, re-released a double LP pressed on 180-gram silver vinyl, which is really, I mean, you guys were like, man, I love Triumph. I got to hang out with Rick a couple of times and Dave Dunlop and, you know, what's going on. And this year, bam, man, the last couple of months.
It's been busy. I mean, it's been, you know, I've been busier than I have when we're putting out albums and being in touring. It's been a very heavy schedule, so to speak. We've had so much going on.
Absolutely. Well, loved at the Classics 30th anniversary, laid on the line, Magic Power, World of Fantasy, all the expected gems. And then you got the documentary Triumph laying on the line. And then I know you just did the Super Fan Fantasy event last month in Toronto, which was part of the documentary, the QA. Then I see you guys hit a milestone last month with the induction into Canada's Walk of Fame, and then in May, what is it, the Legends of Live Music Industry. I mean, out of nowhere, man. I'm so happy for you. All of this, when it rains, it pours, but very much deserving.
Well, thank you. It's you know, we're very honored, and that people are, you know, still remember us and want to give us, you know, little tchotchkes to put on our mantelpieces, so to speak. But no, it's really cool to get those awards. It's just you know, you're always very proud of what you do, and all you think about is the only reason you're really getting them is because you had fans, and the fans made the band always.
Absolutely. Mike, what excites you most about the rock and roll music scene today? Is there anybody that you're listening to or you're keeping an eye on? Or what are you sitting back and seeing? What excites you the most?
It's really hard, you know. There's a lot of stuff out there that I just either don't get, or maybe I feel like my father did when he first heard the Beatles, like they'll never last. But, you know, it's really hard to find something definitive that really turns my crank.
I got you.
Other than, well, one song here, and one song there, and one song here, and one song there. I don't hear careers. You know, I hear everything to me is like top 40 all over again when I was growing up.
Yeah, no.
One song at a time.
No doubt. I mean, I thought it was just me, and I got a 29-year-old, 30-year-old, and they listen to that electronic dance, and maybe it's, you know, it's that part of that rock and roll generation today. I don't know. I'm a classic rock guy, but it is what it is. You know, with all the hits, Mike, what are the key ingredients needed to make a great classic rock song like Magic Power and Lay It On the Line?
Oh, geez. You need, it's hard to tell because you don't know what the ingredients are, right?
Right.
You know, until you think you know, you think you got a recipe and you go, no, that recipe doesn't work. You know, there's too much salt or there's too much garlic or whatever. You know, you have a song and you go, okay, how do we treat this song? How do we make it sound like Triumph? And how do we make it so it's going to sound great on the radio and fans are going to love it and want to go buy the record and come see you live? That's a heck of a stretch. That's starting with just the song. None of that's easy. So, you know, I chalk it up to, you know, a little bit of talent, you know, on the playing side, you know, a little bit of talent on the songwriting side. No, I shouldn't say there more than a little bit. But the other half is luck.
No, that's, yeah, I would.
I hear songs, I hear bands that should have made it and never did. You know, and it's disappointing, but the luck factor you can never dismiss.
No, you're absolutely right. Here we're an independent radio station, so I can play anything, and I probably get 10 CDs a week in the mail. And I tell my wife, "You got to mute Mike and Molly and listen to this song." And sadly, maybe I'm the only one or a handful playing. And today, now you got to put out the video. Hopefully, that goes viral. How the music business evolved to today, more digital, compared to people are sending WAV files back and forth. When you guys were in the studio creating this the great music that you do. Was it a big challenge, Mike? I know you were part of the songwriting, whether it was the music end or the lyric end. But for the guy not singing, was it a challenge sometimes to write a song that you're not singing, that Rick is able to interpret exactly how you wanted it to get out?
Yeah, it's always a challenge, but the great thing about a three-piece band was always it's the ultimate democracy. So, whether it's a song treatment or a business decision, it was either unanimous or it was 2 out of 3. Someone ended up losing a vote. So, it's kind of like, sing it this way or you're out. I'm just kidding on that. But, we had really good working relationships. So, it was easy to say, hey, you're not doing a good job on that, or that melody's got to change, or this rhythm is really bad. You got to play different. We need something better out of the drums, or they come to me, Mike, your bass part stinks. Fix it. Whatever. So we were able to, to converse and not get pissed off at each other very often.
Gotcha. I got to tell you, I want to say back in 2016 when Rick put out his Resolution 9, and I got to talk with him, and he was just so excited to have you and Gil play a track on that album. Boy, it meant so much to him because he hasn't seen you guys in a while, or maybe here or there, but to be part of his album, I got to share with you, he was so excited and thankful.
Yeah, well, we were excited to do it for him. When he asked, there wasn't even a hesitation. Yeah, for sure, we'll be there.
What do you miss the most, Mike? The travel, the guys, or the getting on stage and getting that energy. What are you doing these days, and what do you miss the most?
Oh, geez. Well, from the old days, the best part of all of it was walking on stage and playing a show. That was, the ultimate. It's probably no experience like it, that I've ever had. It's just a question of how high the audience made you.
Ah, man.
An audience, man, you lived the dream, and if they were not even a great audience, you still lived the dream. But in general, our audiences were rabid. They loved the band so much that it didn't, there were always there. The energy would just fly off, from the audience to the stage.
Triumph never disappointed. Incredible musicianships, soaring melodies, exceptional songs, outstanding live shows. It was just more than a live show to see you guys. I mean, I've seen Rush a bunch of times, and I love Rush, but there's something about you guys with the production end of it and the music and things going on. It was always a great time. I know my time is running out real quick. Hey, do you have every jersey from the NHL? I remember catching you on stage and seeing you always with those, your little trademark there. Is there one you're missing?
Probably, yeah. There's a couple. Although, at the fan event, I put what I had up for silent auction. And a bunch of them sold. All that money goes to charity up here. Where there's a couple of charities we support. So I'm very low on NHL shirts right now.
Well, Mike, best of luck, much success with the 30th anniversary and the re-release of. I can't even think, classics. And I hope you enjoyed the chat as much as I have. And certainly, happy holidays, happy New Year. We love Triumph. I love Triumph, and I will definitely keep supporting you guys as much as possible.
All right. Thank you so much, Pat. And, happy holidays to you and happy New Year. Healthy New Year to you and all your listeners. Thanks for the support.
There you go. Mike Levine and Triumph on WBXO and Pat's Soundbites Unplugged. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thank you, Pat.